Hi Ashwadan. So this is in this second video we are going to cover all of your remaining openings. Okay, so we're not going to take much time for this. Okay, let us start with e4. Start e6, French defense, d4, d5. So we are playing knight d2, French tarrach. The whole idea is just waiting. Okay, if I play knight here, we have to see some complicated variations like bishop b4, c5. I don't want all this. Okay, so here mainly three ideas. Once capture the pawn is one thing, playing knight f6, capture the pawn, playing knight f6, play bd7, knight d7 is also one more option. Okay, let us see knight into pawn takes pawn, knight into. So this is the same structure with knight c3 also, but a very safe side. So d into e4, knight into e4. Knight f6 is a mistake initially, because after knight f6, queen here, knight f3, immediately bg5 is a very good move. Let us say knight f6, knight into f6, queen into f6, knight f3. Now threatening bg5, maybe queen g6, bishop d3, creates a lot of threat, and moves like h6. I do say white is very comfortable. Moves like c5, maybe castling, even castling is also possible. He can't take, knight in 2 is always there. Queen captures, bishop check, loses the queen. And there's nothing much about this line, because white is always better, because we have a clear double bishop eyeing on the king side, and most importantly the pawn majority on the queen side is so easy to handle. So there is no much trouble in this opening. I hope after knight f6 you can easily handle. And let us see the other variations with knight d7, knight f3, knight gf6, knight into f6. Even bishop d3 is also the main line, but I don't want you to play a waiting move and create some trouble. Just capture knight into f6, knight into f6, maybe bishop d3, c5, and yeah, bishop e3, queen c7, queen e2, bishop e7 is the major line, I guess. Yeah, it's sorry. D into c5. After wasting the tempo, just capture the c5. Take bishop into, queen into, knight e5. So this is a very good move, the Anand favorite move. And the idea is, if you wait, bishop b5 check will come and move the exchange pieces. It's difficult for black to play the end game because of the pawn majority. The same thing. Let us say castling, long castle. Ooh, this is the idea. Now we are going to push, maybe g4, g5, kingside attack. We are having a clear attacking on the king side. Moves like b6, g4. I don't know what he will play. Let us say bb7, rook h, g1. Okay, let us say rooks here, g5, knight d5, rook g4. It's a very nice position for white to play. Rook, queen, everything coming very fast. So white is clearly better in this variation. So there is not much trouble. Okay, let us assume bishop e3, queen c7. So let us say bishop e7. Okay, no, sorry, bishop e7, you are losing the pawn. So bd7. There's one more subline with bd7, queen e2, queen c7, long castle, or even short castle works here. If you are too afraid to do long castle, you can even do short castle and just play the game. Maybe knight g4 is looks like little trouble, but I don't want. Maybe just move the bishop, attack the knight, then you can just come back. So white is always comfortable in this d into e4 line, so I don't want to take much energy in this one. So let us okay, let us finish first. bd7. So this is one small sub line, but we often see this line playing at even higher levels. bd7, knight f3, maybe bishop c6, bishop to d3, knight to d7, castling. Once we get a chance to play this, he's going to have a big trouble. So he'll keep applying pressure, and two good variations. One, you can pin, capture, or even this is also good here. Knight g3 is played by most of the players here. I don't know, even knight f6 looks so natural. Even bishop g5 is also so good here. If I am there, definitely I'll just pin that knight by playing bishop g5, because bishop g5, let us say bishop e7 now forces to capture, knight into, then I just play c3, and I don't know how this pawn structure can be breaked. Like, I have a very solid, and c5 is the only way to break it, but his bishop is there, so bishop should capture the knight, and queen captures, still he can't play c5. This is hanging. Okay, so I have to defend this, and defending in c6 is the worst thing. Maybe queen d5, queen into d5, knight into d5. I'll just go back, maintain the double bishop. I have a clear attacking path, like rook e1, f4, maybe rook e1, sorry. So white is always comfortable. I don't have any problem with this line. I don't know why even the top level players still play this one. Okay, so d to c4. Instead of that, if he plays c5, so after c5 is simple, just capture this one, and he can't take this one, because if he captures, this game is lost immediately. Bishop check, bd7, take the pawn, he will take the bishop, give it, take the pawn, king into, queen check, loses the bishop. So here white is clearly winning. So he can't take the pawn on d4, so instead he will take the d5 pawn, which is a main move. Then just play knight. Sorry. Queen into d5. So this is the main line, putting pressure on that d4 pawn. Still ignore knight gf3, capture the d pawn. Bishop c4, take the tempo. Queen d6. Knight b3 is possible, but castling is the main move. Knight gf6, knight b3. I just want to recover the pawn back. Here some tricks are there. Some moves like e5, knight into e5 loses immediately. You can't defend. Knight c6. Just I'll take knight into, and maybe a6, rook e1, bishop e7, queen c7, bishop here to d6, moving the bishop to d6, queen e2 or bishop b3, both are playable. So I like queen e2 because I want to move the queen away, and little fast I want to bring the rook to the open file. And so those who are little afraid of the move like b5 can even play bishop to b3, a safe side. Queen e2 also is equally good. So okay, let us say bishop here, bishop c5, maybe bishop g5, bishop d7. So black simply ignores this because he didn't commit the castling yet. Maybe a move like, I don't know, maybe c3 could look so nice. Long castle looks so obvious. Queen should move somewhere. And okay, queen f3. And still I didn't see any complications with black. White still is clearly better. Okay, so Okay, after bishop c4 we are not missing anything, right? Okay, let us say queen d8. Few players even still play queen d8, castling, and knight c6, knight b3, bishop e7, maybe just queen e2. I don't know, I'm getting my pawn back. And sorry, rook d1, pawn back. Okay. Rook d1 followed by knight takes d4. So this is a very easy line. So let us come to the main move, like knight f6. Knight f6. So here the small planning is required. First attack the knight. Knight should go back. Then immediately bishop d3 comes here. Any other move will not give you any advantage. Bishop here and c5. Try to challenge. Oops. You need to defend the pawn, because if you capture you're going to lose the e5 pawn. So c3, put more pressure on this one, on the d4. Defend with knight e2. Most players are playing knight f3 here, most of the beginners I want to say, but don't play knight f3 because the knight on d2 is so bad. It should have a good square, and I don't know where it is going to go from this d2. So this knight to e2, and this knight should come to f3. So that is the whole plan in this opening. So knight d2, knight f3. So c into d4, c into d4, I see f6, pawn takes, knight takes, knight f3 is possible, castling is also the main line, bishop d6, knight f3 threatening to exchange the strong bishop, queen c7 preventing that, bishop g5, the idea is to bishop h4 exchange the bishop on d6, castling first defend the weak pawn, knight, bishop h4 threatening bishop here, knight h5 stopping. Oh, after knight move is losing the h7 pawn, queen c2, h6, bishop g6, sorry, first bishop check and then bishop g6, rook into f3. So g into f3 is a bad move because bishop h2 check comes, and this knight has a very nice square on f4. Okay, so I can't take it, I'll just take bishop into h5. If you analyze this tactical move for a few minutes, so maybe you can even get this. Rook back and bishop g3. So here white has a good weakness on the e5 square, and black should still only play for a draw. Okay, coming back, so knight d2, and that's it. There is no more other variation. Okay, so this is about French tarrach. Hope you like it, and we are going to go to the next opening.